Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Corner Booth podcast. I am your host with some really crappy lighting today, Jared Klim, alongside the usual cast of characters. He's had a good weekend for the boys here. I guess we'll get started here. First off, it was great that I didn't have to worry about my Eagles for an entire weekend. God bless. I could just focus. No Diamondbacks, no Eagles. I could just angrily stare at the screen until Cam Ward goes Superman. But talk about that in a little bit. We also had a great Sunday night game last night. I stayed up watching football till at least 1 o'clock in the morning, back-to-back nights. Thank God I'm unemployed right now because I would not be alive today if I had to go to work. Oh, my God. And I won by 0.04 of a point in fantasy in one of my leagues because the Steelers defense gave up that last touchdown. But we're okay. So, without further ado, let's get the rest of the team in here. Joining me now is, of course, the victorious, the infamous, the Jets fan, aka Swagoo, Mr. Matardazzo.
Yeah, I am focused on the Yankees and nothing but the Yankees as I look forward to that one team that gives me hope every year to take game 2 of the ALDS before they ultimately let me down in the ALCS. We will see. It's most likely going to be the Guardians. Not excited for that. But yeah, I'm focused on the Yankees and the Yankees only right now.
All right. And of course, joining us now, speaking of playoff baseball, this dude's Philadelphia Phillies are giving me hope for humanity right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us to beat the corrupt, garbage can, Loserville New York Mets, the Philadelphia Phillies, and their fanatic, Chris Lipoff.
Yo, guys. What's up, dude? The range of emotion for the past 48 hours has been absolutely insane. From my pitcher throwing 110 pitches to still losing 6-2 to a walk-off by Castellanos last night. My God, dude. I'm at the point where my mental health is just, it's like one of those what are those, like, monitors at like a hospital where it's like a wave.
Yeah, I got you.
Like it's just killing me, dude. And I still hate the Mets. So I woke up this morning still hating the Mets.
Same here.
They're disgusting. They ruin my buddy's dreams, and now I hope to ruin theirs.
I appreciate that, pal. But we have another Philly fan, and this dude's also a menace because him and his New York G-men knocked off the Sea Chickens last night. Yes, I'm calling them the Sea Chickens again. Matt, you've been on this show for 3 years now. It's an annual tradition when the Seahawks screw me in a parlay or on a bet or in fantasy, I refer to them as the Sea Chickens till they redeem themselves. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Sea Chickens were beaten by this man's New York Giants. Nate, how you doing, buddy?
We're so back.
Oh, God, stop.
We're
so back. Bro, I'm telling you, we beat Cincy on Sunday night. I'm so back.
You're going to be a menace to society. Thank God my Hurricanes literally answered the call.
That was a scary sight. We were winning, and I was like, okay, Nate, shut up. Don't say
you want to share to the fans at home what I texted you when you guys were up by 30 points?
Yeah.
I texted him the acronym to fuck around and find out.
He did.
I said,
and I had no idea what that meant.
Keep chanting, keep doing the U down.
That wasn't me. I wasn't doing
celebrations.
That was not me.
That was not just you. That was to all Cal fans. I'm like,
it was my fellow Asians over there.
Oh, man. That's what that was.
A bunch of dummies.
Yeah. So I said to Nate, FaceTimes me at like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, Nate, you know what that meant, right? He goes, F around and find out, and he goes, oh, damn it.
I wish I was up for that.
Hell of a game. But more importantly,
we talk about the fightings, baby.
Talk about the fightings, baby.
Said. We talk about the fightings.
When y'all got
Nola game 3?
When y'all got to give me like a Ryan Howard jersey or something like that, I'll rock it.
You will get around. If hypothetically, let's knock on wood. I definitely got some wood in this house. All right, me knock on the hardwood floor here. We win the World Series, right? Or Jared. I do have a Ryan Howard jersey, I think.
Chris, I am 275 pounds. I doubt. We're officially friends on Facebook now, which is the fact it took you over a year to be friends with me on Facebook is a little hurtful.
I don't really use it. So
No, it's okay. I just had to.
I really don't use it.
I was busting chops. You're good. I got to see what you look like in person from your Facebook photos, my boy. you're what, $175 soaking wet?
I'm skinny Batman.
Yeah, you're skinny. Yeah, brother. I haven't weighed as little as you since I was a 7th grader. I've been a big man.
Matt Ordaz send you a friend request. Thank you.
That's because I looked up Christopher Lipoff, and then it was some guy from France, and I was like, let me try Chris.
So
his name is not Christopher.
Yeah. So if you.
Oh yeah, it's Christian.
So
damn.
if you look me up on I think Facebook, if you type in like Chris Lipoff, a guy from France comes up. Everybody asks me, he's like, dude, like, we can't find you. I'm like, well, one, I don't use it. Number two, like, also that might be like a long distance cousin.
Well, now, Chris, on Facebook, we can make you part of the admin for the Facebook page.
But when you search it up and you just see the first two options, and it's like the France guy is the black and white picture, he's got like the beard and the same hair from the side. So I was like, all right, maybe Villeurbanne is just some town in Philly that he used to live in. And then I was like, oh, France. Oh, no, this is a whole different guy. But at first, I'm like, oh, that could be him.
Yeah, Baguette's on standby.
Chrissy, we got breaking news for Philadelphia Eagles. As of rap sheet, as of 5 minutes ago.
Did you guys get Devontae Adams?
No. Sidney Brown has been cleared to practice.
Oh. I reported this like 2 hours
Sidney
ago.
Brown is a menace to society, okay? He is basically what C.J. Gardner-Johnson thinks he is. He played 3 games last year, had, I think, 3 or 4 tackles for a loss, 2 or 3 tackles for a loss, a pick 6, and I think a couple SWAT downs before he tore his ACL. Kid was a menace before he tore his ACL. He'll be a perfect fit because then we can have Gardner-Johnson play nickel where he's supposed to play, and it'll actually be good. Also, Aeneas Smith is apparently off IR as well, which he will replace Johnny Wilson's useless ass in the lineup because I think that kid needs to go back to the receiver oven for a couple more months and learn how to play receiver in the NFL. His teammate, Keon Coleman, looks great, but he looked awful.
Okay, so all right, I will say this. I'm not going to say the secondary needs a lot of help because the secondary has been like one of the most promising spots, I'd say, on the team. Mm-hmm. I know Slay's lost a step a tiny bit, but it's not drastic.
Attitude adjuster, and that's what this kid.
Yeah, it's not drastic. It's not anything like I'm really concerned about because then I look on the other side. We have Quinyon Mitchell, who's a lock. He's already the best defensive player in this team. I think for the Eagles, the big thing with the Eagles, and we've been stressing about this for like the past couple of games. I'm not going to talk about them too much because they're on a bye, but
yeah,
just get pressure on the quarterback, dude. Like you got some dogs up front, dude. Just get pressure on the quarterback. I mean, you got Carter, Davis, Graham. I mean, you got guys who can just throw people. I'm like, dude, use the weight you got, dude. Just throw them. Like these dudes got too much talent for not getting any sacks on.
We are playing Cleveland this week, who has basically one of the worst offensive lines in football. Nate's Giants beat the snot out of them. So
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that I learned as like an Eagles fan. It's like, yeah, Deshaun Watson's gonna have a terrible week against like the Giants and the Cowboys, and then become Tom Brady against the Eagles. Like it's just hilarious. Sometimes we just make the most average quarterbacks look better than what they are. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game. I'm concerned for the offense this week because I'm hoping Brown gets cleared, and I'm hoping
he's reportedly playing.
Okay, and
he was almost cleared. So the word on the street is AJ Brown was basically cleared to play in Tampa, but then it was 105 degrees on the field, and it was basically screaming, "Hey, let's pull some muscles."
Abysmal, dude. Also,
I was honestly happy he didn't suit up. As much as it was going to suck, I was like, dude, Tampa Bay's not that good. We might have a shot, but we need to keep AJ off the field. And Devontae,
I'm also saying my best
against a mediocre team like the Buccaneers and take a loss, so we can come back and kick Bill Cosby and the rest of the crew up in Cleveland's butt, and then start rolling our way through the schedule. I was thinking of this today. This actually gets me into my next point, though. I was thinking last night. I was watching Sunday Night Football, and I was looking at the schedule for Washington. They don't have a difficult game except for the Ravens for the next 5-6 weeks. They may be 10-3 by the middle of November.
Listen, man,
Because they don't have a hard team. The only team they play is the surging Ravens, which they'll probably lose to.
Because the problem is the NFL's any given Sunday. Like I don't guarantee that.
But fundamentally, Chris, they're sound. That's what scares me. They make the right plays against bad teams. Now they haven't really played a good team yet. They did, and they lost. So, and I'm gonna be dead ass with you guys. I don't think the Bengals are that good. I don't think who'd they beat yesterday? The Browns are abysmal. So they're beating a lot of bad teams. Kind of reminds me of a certain football team last year with a mobile quarterback who had a coaching conundrum and 2 moron assistant coaches and some injuries in the defense and plays in the great city of Philadelphia. They kind of give me the same vibe where they're beating all the bad teams, but I want to see them get tested because I want to see what this Daniels guy. I think by far and away he's the best quarterback in this draft class. Not even close. Caleb Williams looked okay.
Dude, I don't understand why the Bears even had second thoughts. Like I don't even know why
It's because Williams has more arm strength and he is the flashier talent.
But don't we learn about this generation with quarterbacks? It's mobility is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jaden Daniels was.
Well, Caleb Williams is still mobile. He's about as fast or a little faster than Jalen. It's not really a.
Well, I mean, Jalen. I'm thinking of Jaden. I'm saying
no. Well, listen, Jaden Daniels is in a completely different tier where he's with like the Vicks, the Lamars. Jaden Daniels, RG3. That's the class he's in. There's 3 different types of mobile quarterbacks. I would swear by this. So you have like the scramblers, the guys who can get outside the pocket, make a guy miss and get 5-10 yards. Carson Wentz, Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben. I'll even put Russell Wilson post year 3 in that. A lot guy like they're not gonna run for 70, 80 yards a game. But they can beat you with their legs if they need to. Then you get into the tier 2, pocket passers with mobility who can run for 100 yards. That is the Jalen Hurts, the Josh Allens, the Caleb Williams. I feel like I'm missing Patty Mahomes, Kyler Murray. These guys will beat you with their legs, but they'd rather throw the football. And then you get to the 8 tier, the top tier. These guys are literally the elite of the elite running the football as a quarterback, where their best weapon isn't even their arm, and their arm's pretty damn good. And that's where you get the Jaden Daniels, the RG3s, the Michael Vicks, the Lamar Jacksons, who are all great passers in their own respect, either in college or pro, but they're so good running the football. It takes an entire defender out of the play. You have to have a spy, have to run contain. You can't just run straight blitzing because you're going to give up lanes. So what Caleb lacked in the game-breaking mobility, he had better arm strength. But Jaden Daniels has like Drew Brees level accuracy so far this season, which I don't think anybody, even myself, who was very high on Jaden Daniels, predicted. Like I didn't see that. I thought he was going to be great, like maybe 65% passing, like have a great rookie season. Dude, he's on track to finish with I think like 75% completion percentage or something ridiculous like that. That's insane for a rookie. That's incredible. That's like college numbers.
They scare me.
They scare me. Also, last night, I became less scared of both Dallas and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm not really afraid of Pittsburgh, and I think their offense is pretty mediocre. I think their defense is what kind of keeps them.
They also
in
get in
games.
their own heads too.
Yeah, it's a lot of grit.
Last play, just like what the hell?
Dallas is Dallas. I think they split with Dallas. I think they're going to split with our divisional teams. I do. Yeah. But I will say, at the
best, we're going to have 4 losses. At our worst, 7. So we're probably getting 5 losses.
I think at the end of the year, I think the Eagles will be 11-6.
I'd say 12-5, just because I think we're gonna knock off one of those elite teams. Also, we got to realize one of the losses we said we were gonna have was the Bengals, and the Bengals can't stop a cold. much less stop anybody on defense.
Yeah, that was yesterday was definitely game of the year so far.
Oh my God, that was incredible. My buddy who had money on the Ravens, shout out to my boy Ryan, left my house because he had to get back to go take his girl out for something. And he's like, dude, let me know how it ends. He's literally in my driveway pulling out. And I literally am texting him, dude. McPherson missed a field goal. He missed a field goal. And he literally, after the fumble, he walked out. I'm like, McPherson missed it. Derrick Henry, 55-yard run. They're inside the 5. Justin Tucker hit one. You're in. And he goes, oh my. He's calling me from the highway. He's like, I missed all of this. And because he was already upset because he put money on the Bills and he was already ticked off. So he was like, at this point, he's like, I need something.
Yeah. I found out in fantasy I had Burrow and Chase. So they got me 90 points.
Yeah, you didn't buzzsaw me, Chris. You literally took me out behind the woodshed and put a belt of machine gun rounds in me.
I said, let the boy watch.
You took him out back like Old Yeller.
Dude, that wasn't Old Yeller.
That was like
back like one of the scenes. He took me out back like Rambo and the bad guys in the new movie.
I might beat Nate by well, according to this, I'm projected to beat him by 26.
Jeez. That's why, for you out there, never draft 2 quarterbacks back-to-back in the Super League because you'll get a team like mine.
Also, what are the odds? So I'm beating this guy by 1.10 points, 1.10 points. He's got Xavier Worthy left. What do you think my chances are? You think Patrick Mahomes just doesn't look his way at all?
I don't know. It might look a little Mahomey tonight.
It's like, oh, Jim, I don't know. He's looking pretty Mahomey.
On the ESPN door is like, I heard Mahomes was here.
Mahomes, man.
Those are great TikTok. He's like, Justin Fields is looking a little Mahomey. Oh, Jim, it's so close.
This is why I literally had the game muted, playing Dynasty, and then also playing like I had one point was playing golf with friends because the game was getting so boring.
I shut off the commentary for Chris Collinsworth one time, and I was just playing the soundtrack of Pirates of the Caribbean.
So is it Caribbean or is it Pirates of the Caribbean? Because I've been saying Caribbean for like
my whole life.
I think it is Caribbean.
I know it's the Caribbean, but I like to think it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think, like where you're at in the country, like some people say, Caribbean. I don't know. I mean, it's spelled as Caribbean.
I say Caribbean almost always. So
it's gonna be one of those Mandela things.
Yeah. Was the dress blue and white or?
Oh God! Stop it!
That was gold.
I'm about to pull up the dress.
That was gold.
It was gold.
Black and blue.
What's the date?
That was gold, man.
I'm in.
Did you guys?
It was gold, not gold. It was black and blue. All right, we're moving on. I'm not talking about this anymore.
Shoot! I know Manny want to say something.
Oh
no, do you guys remember it as the Berenstein Bears or the Berenstein?
Berenstein.
I remember Berenstein.
Don't say Berenstein, Jared. I know you're gonna say
that was the go-to.
You got the face. You're gonna say it.
Look at him. It's
always the odd man out. It's like, I say Berenstein.
And then there was Totinos and Tostinos, but I always remember it as it was Totinos.
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
Anyways, what do we got?
Oh, there it is.
That's gold
there
and
it
white.
is.
That's yellow and white.
We're not.
You used to yellow and white.
Oh man!
All right,
I mean, whatever.
Hold on. Here's a controversial.
I got in a full-on argument with a chick at a bar about this stupid dress, and it was like, I'm like, why are we talking about it? She goes, because you're not admitting it's black and blue, green and gold and white. I'm like, stop it.
How do you guys
all
say
this
water?
proof to me is that you're colorblind, and then I walked away.
How do you guys say water?
Wooter.
You guys aren't open-minded.
Wooter.
Hey,
Water.
Speaking of the NFL, you don't know what's it called? There's a tight end by the name of Tucker Kraft this past weekend, right? Yeah, so he's 23, he's like 23 years old, right? So he is
Root me hard.
So 13 tight ends, right? Before Kraft had 140 yards plus and 3 touchdowns over a 2-game stretch. So Gronkowski did it 12 times, and Hernandez did it 1 time. Aaron Hernandez, to be exact.
Goddard did it once too, brother.
over a 2-game stretch. No.
Oh.
However, so Kraft was the 14th guy, right? So I was looking at Twitter, and someone said, "Oh, this means that there's a 1 in 13 chance that Tucker Kraft kills somebody."
Oh my God!
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, Matt. You get it.
God.
You guys get it, right?
Oh, I
yeah,
get
we
it.
all got it. Yeah.
I get it. That's sad. I get
I
it. Though.
temporarily lost my hope in humanity after hearing that for a second. So,
You know,
There's
Speaking
a
of-
Hulu show about it. There's a
That thing
Hulu
is-
show.
I was gonna
about
say
it.
I heard that it wasn't good, but people were like, I just can't stop watching it. But it's not good.
So
Just like the Clippers one. That was so bad. Oh my.
quick story.
That was only bad because none of the actors looked anything remotely close to what the actual athletes looked like.
Bro, Steph Curry.
the only one who looked
Nah.
pretty close to Meyer. That was it.
Chris Paul didn't look like him. I mean, they had
We're
Katie
not
Redick,
talking
but that
about
wasn't hard.
the Clippers one.
Yeah,
What are we talking about?
the,
The Hulu show.
the show
Chris.
clipped.
The
show clipped.
I haven't seen it.
about Donald Sterling.
Oh, dude, it's a good show, but every actor doesn't look anything close to the athlete.
That's how winning
That's the
time
thing.
was. The
Yeah,
Magic
but no,
Johnson.
No, winning
time
time was more
actually-
accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, Magic
make
Johnson
Larry-
looked good,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, they look
Larry-
pretty close.
yeah, the Larry Bird one kind of threw me off, but I got it. The Dr. J was hilarious. I don't know if you've seen the Dr. J.
Yeah, because he plays like the uncle from Blackish is the freaking plays Dr. J. You're like, what the shit? Who let
Yeah,
this
okay.
guy play Dr. J?
Dude, I'd hate to run into this cat, dude. I like, who is this guy?
I mean, the guy who Adrian Brody actually played a really good Pat Riley, which I was actually impressed by. So
Chris, I don't know if you can see this. This was Chris Paul, and this was Blake Griffin.
is that like knockoff Zach LaVine? Who is that?
Yeah, exactly. None of them look like anyone.
Dude, what?
It was so bad. The show was it was interesting how they showed us like the story came about, but just the actors were just the woman was really pretty though, I will say. Other than that show was
she was actually way more attractive than the actual woman was in real life. So
yeah.
Nate,
All right.
you want me to DM somebody again for you? I will do it.
Nah, I'm still waiting on Jenna, bro. It's all
You
good.
got it.
we have to get talking about college football though.
Do we have to?
This weekend was wild.
Yeah.
Upset.
Vanderbilt knocks off Alabama.
That was my upset.
I saved you. Hey, I saved you, boss.
Yeah, you did actually. You literally said
Vanderbilt's gonna win.
ML Vanderbilt for
you
my
said something about
favorite.
Vanderbilt, and I'm just like, you know what? Auburn might be the worst team in the SEC, so I mean, watching Georgia kick their head in is fine. Yeah, no, that's crazy. Weirdest part is then I had to hear about and Missouri lost. Oh, and Miami's next. I was so angry during that game, I stopped talking. For 2 hours, I didn't say a freaking word. And my dad came downstairs like 1:30 in the morning, and he goes, "The game's still on?" I'm like, "Yes." And he goes, "You haven't really said anything. We thought you were asleep." And I'm like, "I'm not." He goes, "Okay, good night." I'm like, "Night." And then we punched one in. Then Cam Ward did his little scramble and score. And then we made a stop on the thank God it wasn't targeting call. Reason for everyone at home saying it was a rig call, it was not targeting because the quarterback lowered his head first, and I think it's Bichant, whatever the linebacker number 31's name is, he was already mid-launch, and the guy put his head down. At that point, that's an incidental. So you can't really – I mean, listen, if he was running head up and Bichant just ran straight into him, noggin first, then yes, call targeting. Cal pulls off the upset, and we're having a whole different conversation this morning.
I'm stressed out. I'm gonna go get some cookies.
What'd you say?
He's gonna get some cookies.
I'm stressed out. I'm getting cookies.
The game's not
Stressing
even
you.
the
No,
games aren't even on yet.
They're not even on until tomorrow.
Cookies can wait.
Nice.
I thought they were on in an hour.
No, you good. Hey, it's breathe,
tomorrow.
Chris. Breathe,
Thought
baby.
today was
Breathe.
Tuesday. Thought today was Tuesday for a minute.
Yeah,
Oh.
American League is today.
Yeah, we
National
did
is
it.
tomorrow.
We
Alright,
did
well,
it
I'm still
at 5:30
getting
today. We did it 5:30 today, so I could watch my game.
Chris, I know your
That's
brain-
right.
And you can do yours tomorrow.
See, Matt can multitask. He's used to being here. His Yankees are always here. Chrissy, you are a more emotional human being than Matt is. I know you wouldn't be able to focus if we were doing the show tomorrow. So I was like, let's go.
My God, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'd probably like spear a fish or something, dude. I would like,
You're a bitch.
dude, I'd be like the liver king. Like, dude, I
You-
just couldn't.
What's
It would
up,
take you
rivals?
Yeah.
It would take
What's
you
up?
like deep sea game fishing, and like we would have a swordfish in the air, and you would just jump out and like edge spear him.
Screw you guys. You guys aren't primal.
Did you guys had a bye week this week, right? LSU.
Cool. Oh,
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah. Then we have
Ole Miss this weekend.
Ole Miss.
Oh, dude, this 6-pack is gonna be nuts. I'm like having to try to balance everything. I started like looking ahead this morning, and I was like, "Oh my god, how am I gonna pick this 6-pack? This is gonna be absolutely insane."
Dude, I was looking at your game. I watched a good amount of it. It's just it got to be so late, but Xavier
Brother, I didn't go to
Restrepo
bed
might
till
be the
3
real
o'clock.
deal.
2:45.
Xavier Restrepo might be the real deal. I mean, he had a Randy Moss. He had a Randy Moss type game where he had 7 receptions, but he had 163 yards.
70 of them were on one catch. He just
man.
it was a 4 verts. He was the inside man. So basically a deep cross. Cam Ward dumped it off over the top. He got it, took it 60 yards down the field, got him inside the 5, and then we'll dump off to Damian Martinez to get him inside the red zone, and then a little bubble screen to Elijah Arroyo. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy too is
He's unreal.
what's kind of crazy is that Cal put up those 38 points. They didn't really have. They had under 400 yards total offense. Like it wasn't like anything insane. I think Miami won.
Just punted.
Miami had almost the same amount of yards as them, but in passing. I mean, they had almost 600 yards of offense, and they had the 39.
You had a pick 6. 1, 2. You had multiple times where Miami either had like a non-starter drive or would drive 2, 3, 4 first downs in and have to punt it. So Cal scored in every possession. I think they only punted twice the entire game or once. And then I think Cal only gave the ball, didn't score on 3 possessions. A pick, I think it was 2 punts. That's it. So,
Man, Minnesota beat USC.
Punts were in the fourth quarter.
Minnesota beat USC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are we shocked though? Like USC looked soft against Michigan.
Prayers for Brent.
We got a minute. But
I
got a question for you. So, where you're at right now, where Miami is right now, what you've been going through for the first 6-7 weeks. I think it's 6 weeks. Where do you see your team?
It depends on what we do against Louisville in 2 weeks.
Okay.
If we absolutely stomp them out and we start rolling, here's the thing. There's only one team that scares the daylights out of me. And that's Texas.
Never mind. There's my guess.
Texas is the only team that scares the daylights out of me.
Do we have that
Every other
Beyonce
team
song on cue?
I'm sorry?
We have that Beyonce song on cue. This
Stop
ain't Texas.
This ain't Texas.
Listen, I know her Diddy connection. She's not welcome on this show.
Never mind. Anyway, back to you.
So, in a tournament, I put up in the way because Alabama was right next to Texas in that list, but Alabama can't stop anybody in defense. Clearly, we just watched this weekend. Georgia can't really score once there's adversity. Carson Beck is basically a trust fund baby with the keys to a Lamborghini and told not to crash it. Oregon scares me because they can do a little bit of both, but Dylan Gabriel looks sloppy. That leaves me in the 5. I don't fear Clemson. I think it's going to be a good game, but we got over the Demons last year with a third-string quarterback. Cade Klubnik, we know how to beat him. We beat him last year. The biggest, and also, by the way, I had to hear Joel Klatt today say, "Oh, Clemson's look better than Miami," and I'm like, y'all beat a not that great Georgia team. I mean, Georgia's going to finish top 25, top 15, top 10, but look awful. They looked awful in a lot of games this year. They just win because they're Georgia. They have great defensive personnel, but their offense is like very inept. So that they lost 34-3 to Georgia. Then they beat a bunch of really crappy teams. Their best win is North Carolina State, where they scored 65, but they gave up 35. So I'm looking for this quality win, and I'm like, we killed Florida. We stomped the same USF team that almost beat Alabama. We stomped them. Like, they were in the game against Bama to the end. We killed them. We took care of business against VT on a Friday night game, which honestly we should have been way up in that game anyway. And then we went into Cal. By the way, I said this tonight. Cal might be a sleeper for like an ACC runner-up. They are that good. They can score quickly. They are explosive. The problem is, once Miami got going on offense, they were in trouble. They definitely once like Miami got a clean shot on them and got that second touchdown in, and they started backpedaling in Miami. It was like watching the John Jones Cormier fight from 2017. The second Cormier or Cal misstepped, the apex predator went right after him. It was over. And it was kind of like a quicksand effect. You saw it happening in slow motion. But yeah, so Miami to me right now.
Get to Louisville. Then we'll talk.
Handle Louisville, handle FSU. Basically, the only team on their schedule that still scares me at all is Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it's very reasonable.
But we'll see.
What other games we got to talk about?
Oh, and Syracuse in week 11.
They're sneaky too.
They're sneaky, but I believe if it's in the Carrier Dome, this might scare me a little bit. But I believe it's in Miami, so we'll see. I don't really want to talk about Mizzou A&M because they're two of the most confusing teams of all time. A&M 1 week looks abysmal, next week looks
that was my highlight pick of the week. That was like the only thing I hit on.
Yeah, no, listen, you can hit on that. I'll defer to you, my friend. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole.
I don't have much going into it. I just saw that like at one point A&M was up 24-0. I'm like, I didn't believe what I was saying. But that was I guess that was my home run pick of the 6-pack because I'm pretty sure I only got like 2 points, maybe 3, but I think 2. I had another bad week. I'm falling apart.
Yeah, I'm 2 points behind you now.
Yeah, I am falling apart drastically. I'm at the point where I'm like, the thing that's screwing me over is the NFL.
Also, Chrissy, I'm gonna give you some advice here, and this is the mistake I made last year. This is how Matt's separated so far from me. Stop picking to beat somebody. Pick to win games, because you win games, then your number will go up. You pick to win the games. You don't pick to catch up to people. So I already made the decision mentally. I may not catch Matt or Nate until week 12. But if I keep making better
that's pretty
picks,
smart.
Yeah, because
I almost hit over the weekend with my upset. I had Nevada beating San Jose State.
My upset was so freaking bad.
And they
terrible.
San Jose State ended up scoring with like 30 seconds left and ended up losing. I was so
never doubt the Spartans.
Hey, Nate, would it be a good upset pick for me to take Cal over 22 Pitt?
I think we should just stay away from my team.
My hatred of the Pittsburgh Panthers. I mean,
just stay away from my teams.
Oh, I'll be cheering for the Golden Communist Bears the entire weekend. Like, go Cal!
Nate's gonna text you the whole like fuck around and find out.
Matthew, it's F around and find out. We're still
alive. I thought about it after I did it, and I was like, damn. But I committed.
Oh, so here's the list of some of the games we've got coming up, and we'll kind of touch on the rest of this weekend. Kansas State, Colorado. We've got Ole Miss and LSU. Your Tigers against Jackson Dart and the Shark Rebels, or whatever the hell they're called now. Ohio State, Oregon, 2 versus 3. Come on now, kids. We get Tennessee, Florida, another good one. We get Cal versus Pitt, which we already talked about.
Nothing like a good Boise State Hawaii game at 11.
No, listen. Going to Hawaii is tough.
By the way, that running back's insane.
Chanty is absolutely incredible.
Insane.
Let me quickly finish here. We got UFC Penn State, and then we got the Red River Shootout this weekend. Texas, Oklahoma. It's going to be a good one.
I'm rocking.
I'm rocking too.
I'm rocking. I do not like Oklahoma. Sorry.
I'm kind of neutral. Like
I don't care for Oklahoma at all.
I rooted the last time I rooted for Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts was under center. That was the last time I rooted.
I hate. You know, it's funny. I hated Jalen Hurts when he was at Oklahoma just because I was an LSU fan and we played him that year with Joe Burrow, and I was like, please stomp this guy's head in. And now he's my quarterback.
Yeah, right.
Now he's my quarterback. Now I defend him every week.
All right. So we talked about Georgia, Auburn. Iowa got killed by Ohio State. We saw it coming. SMU smacking around, coming back and knocking out Louisville. Rhett Lashley and the boys looking pretty good. We touched on Vandy, Alabama already.
Who beat Michigan?
Washington.
Oh, they're upset.
Rematch.
There was no orgy in the end zone this time.
Jesus Christ.
He just popped that.
I love the cameo just comes in and then he just did.
You know, Nate is turning into Zito from Pat McAfee show so fast because he just pops in, makes a dirty joke or an off-color comment, and drops back. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Nate's like acting like this is an Omegle chat. Where he pops in and pops out.
You can find your next true love for you guys out there on Omegle.
Yeah.
Trust.
I'm good.
Not me though, but trust.
If you start showing up with a Kermit the Frog puppet on
Oh God. It just jumps
and
off.
if you ask me to eat my vegetables, I'm driving to California to whoop you.
Yo, my Halloween costume should be Kermit. Thanks.
That'd be pretty fire. That'd be pretty fire.
Chris, you could be Miss Piggy, bro.
Yeah, let me get a wig. Let me get a wig and a fat suit.
You gotta do the Miss Piggy voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even do an impression.
Oh my god. My best friend is actually stealing my idea. He's doing my backup costume. He's going as Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder.
Oh my god.
You can't do that. Well, I mean, I guess he's gonna, but
you can't do that. Like, by the way, quick story. So
he's thinking about it. Let's see if he actually pulls the trigger on it. Because he had some big ideas last year.
I think I told you guys this. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but years ago when I was a kid, I went to the movie theater with my aunt and her husband. And I'm like thinking like, all right, you know, we're gonna go see Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties. That's what I wanted to see. So we go in there. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so excited to see Garfield. My aunt's up there and she's like, 3 for Tropic Thunder, please. And I'm 8. I'm 8 years old. And I'm like, the guy who's selling the movie tickets, he's like, are you sure you want to take him to see this movie? And he's pointing right at me. And I'm sitting there with my hands on my I'm like, I'm a grown up. And I go in there. I see it. And I'm laughing my ass off. So I go to school on Monday. And I start repeating some of the lines from the movie, and my teacher calls me up, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh, I saw this movie," and she's like, "Well, I know it was pretty inappropriate things." I don't remember what I was saying, but I remember I had to go to the principal's office. Turns out I got suspended for like 3 days in 2nd grade. So, don't take your 8-year-old nephew to see Tropic Thunder. Is what I want to know.
On the reverse, I was 13 and I dragged at the time, she was probably like in her like mid-late 60s. I dragged my grandmother at 13 years old to the movie theater and we saw Step Brothers.
Oh, you told me this. Wait, no, because me and you texted about this. We talked about this. Like
my poor at the time, like 65-year-old grandmother was watching Will Ferrell drag his like fake artificial ball sack on a
drum set. Oh my god!
And lick white dog poop. Oh man!
Oh god!
She stayed for the whole movie.
I may have like a minor one. I told my dad I wanted to go see Meet the Spartans, and he took me. And Matt knows my father's sense of humor. He's just sitting here looking at me like, what is wrong with you? Why are you dragging me?
Oh my god, dude. I've seen some pretty raunchy movies in theaters with relatives that I wish I could take back some of those days. But
I didn't see it with a relative, but what was a great movie, actually my dad might have been there, which is fun because me and him had the same sense of humor. But Grandma's Boy was wild.
I haven't seen that. I always wanted to see that movie. I haven't seen it.
All right,
That's
so
one of Sandler's boys makes that movie, right?
Yeah, Nick Swartzen.
Yeah,
So what you
met
gotta
him.
do is I've discovered this new thing now, and that's why I use it every time. If I think of a movie and I want to see if I can watch it, I go on IMDb and it'll say where it's available. And because I have YouTube TV, so does Matt. If it's it might be on there on demand, or you could DVR it and I pop up. So I've actually been able to see like almost any movie I've thought of over the last last 3-4 years. I've had YouTube TV between the streaming services and DVR and on demand. So that's, I guess, if you want to go watch Grandma's Boy, Chrissy, that's the way you're going to find it.
Yeah, what I usually do is just Google the movie, and then on one of the tabs it'll just say watch movie, and it'll just play like the streaming platform it's on. So
And that's why your laptop is missing some keys.
Yeah, they're stuck to my fingers.
That was more about the viruses from downloading everything, but
yeah, I want a free laptop. I'm like, I took advantage of that.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're getting one.
All right, locked in, baby.
Locked in, baby.
So who's
turning incognito on?
Backing into their house right now?
Me, and I was going to go on mute for a minute, but dude, back up! Hold on. We're coming in for a landing. Bring her in. Oh my god, this is terrible.
Well, like the guy actually backs into Chris's house.
This guy's gonna throw my house. I'm like, you here for the delivery? I'm like, yeah.
Did you order a pizza with extra sausage?
Yeah, that's me. Oh man, the guy said 30 minutes or less. He physically went through my house. Great movie, by the way.
I love that movie so much.
I love that movie. But we do got to get back to football because I know you want to talk football.
Yeah, we got about 25 minutes left, and we've been ADHDing our way through the center. We also have to talk about Monday Night Football tonight as well. But yeah, so besides that, pretty uninspiring weekend for college football. Besides those 4 upsets we talked about, next weekend obviously we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about. I found 5 games already. This is that weekend, by the way, so we can, if you guys want to do a special edition, maybe add a couple extra games, make it a little interesting. I don't know. We'll talk about it for the Thursday show. Also, Maddie, I believe you're not going to be here this week.
Not Thursday, no.
Thursday. I may have a new member debut I have to talk about tonight after the show. So, we got Matt. You want to rip the Band-Aid off now or what?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
Yeah.
London, governor.
Where do I start? Beans and freaking toast.
Oi!
Beans and toast.
Oi!
Oh,
Bangers and mash.
You're right. Mate. You're right. God. All right, sorry.
I don't even. They're still beating me. I don't even know how to
Devontae
like.
Adams gonna be your new neighbor? Devontae Adams supposed to be your new neighbor. That's why.
Not Chris's new neighbor.
I mean, it's not too far from the stadium.
I mean, if he's coming to Philadelphia,
it's Sam Darnold didn't even really play well. Like if you look at his stats, he didn't have any touchdowns. He had an interception. I think there's a fumble. I just don't understand why this team isn't clicking. I know what's the problem. It's coaching. It's Robert Saleh. It's Nathaniel Hackett. It's the offensive line coach. They all suck. They all need to go. The only good coach we have is the defense coordinator. The defense played amazing. They kept us in the game the entire time. Offensively, Rodgers just didn't look like he was on the same page as some of his receivers. Alan Lazard cannot catch a ball. He led the league in drops last year, and he's now leading the league in drops this year. He's got like a 24% drop rate with his catches. It's terrible. We had opportunity after opportunity. Missed throw after missed throw, third and short, third and long, missed conversions, 3 and outs. Like we had every opportunity to get ourselves back in the game, to win that game, and we just didn't do it. Now I If Devontae Adams becomes a Jet this week, I would love it. I'll be excited. I'll be head over heels. Do I think Devontae Adams fixes this team's issues? No. I think it makes them better. As an offensive unit, I think that'll make them better. I think it'll make them stronger. I think there's going to be a lot of games that they might come with Devontae Adams. I think there's going to be a lot of games coming up where they could squeak out some victories against some games they're probably not supposed to win. But the issue with this team is coaching, and until that gets switched up, this is going to just be a stalemate of a season, in my opinion. I think right now, we're looking at a ceiling of 10 wins, maybe 9 wins right now. We dropped 2 games you should have won. My last piece about all of this, shout out to Rodgers for, he had 3 interceptions yesterday, but he's playing with a low ankle sprain, the same ankle that he blew out last year. So he's trying his hardest. He's giving us his all. The craziest thing about it is just when I think I'm out, they bring me back in because next week we have the Buffalo Bills Monday Night Football. If the Jets beat the Bills Monday Night Football at home, the Jets are in first place. That is the wild stat of the day. The 2-3 Jets could beat the Bills on Monday and be in first place. Not entirely out of the realm of possibility because they have beaten the Bills, I believe, back-to-back years at home. They've split the series the last 2 to 3 years, I believe. So it's not impossible to win this game. But if they do, you're just first place in the division for the first time in a very long time.
I will say this. Do you think your division now is the NFC South? The former NFC South.
I'd second that.
Yeah. Because the Patriots are 1-4. Patriots are 1-4. Without Tua, this Dolphins offense is inept. Tyler Huntley is just not. He is no disrespect to him. He is a RC Cola great value Lamar Jackson. He is not he's not the same kind of passer as him. He can do the same thing as Lamar, he's just not as good. He's diet Lamar.
So to win the division, do you think it's going to be about 9 or 10 wins?
Yeah. I run that because the problem with you saw the Bills, they struggle. They can't even work without Khalil Shakir. They were really struggling on those last.
Turns out he was the missing piece. It wasn't Stephon Diggs.
I genuinely do think 10 wins could, at this moment, looking at how everybody in the division is playing, I think 10 wins realistically could be the deciding factor with this division. And the Bills defense is starting to kind of not get lit up, but again, some points tacked on them. There's some miscues and everything. I don't think it's impossible to win this division with 10 wins now.
There you go. By the way, somebody outside keeps yelling for the name Rudy. Who the hell is Rudy? Rudy better answer the door, dude.
Rudy, a.k.a. the worst college football movie of all time. It's based off of a lie, and he was offside.
That's right. What that dog said. Neutral zone infraction. 45. Rudy. Done. Pull him.
My favorite part is Joe Montana's comments about that, because he was the quarterback on that team, and it was hilarious. It was that none of that happened. We all made fun of him for it. This guy had connections in Hollywood. That's why it was a movie. Also, as a Miami Hurricanes fan, to make fun of anything associated with Notre Dame would make me so happy.
Who is the greatest quarterback in a movie? I'm going to go Dan Marino, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Ooh. That's just me.
Willie Beaneman, Any Given Sunday. Paul Crew, Longest Yard.
Yeah.
Or Ted 2, when they try to break into Tom Brady's house, steal his stuff, and then he threw Ted off a balcony.
You are really stretching.
They revealed the blanket, and they show. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to wonder how. I'm just kidding.
Shane Falco.
That's a good one.
Replacements.
Sunshine.
Rev.
Michael Irvin, the Longest Yard.
He's a wide receiver.
I almost said Air Bud, but he was not a
Air Bud. Anybody ever see MVP Primate? You guys ever see that movie? Dude, he plays hockey.
Oh my god.
MVP Primate.
Oh boy. Oh. Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
You don't really see it that well, but dude, there's a sequel where he skateboards too. Pretty sick.
All right, I'll speed run the rest of the games. We're not covering for the 6-pack quickly. Thursday night, we may have had the best Thursday night game of the year with Bucks and Falcons. That went down to the last drive with Kirk Thuggins chucking a nice one to Hodge for the game winner. By the way, your boy on my family league fantasy team started Darnell Mooney and Mike Evans as my 2 wide receivers. I was high stepping into the weekend in fantasy. All right, we talked about the game overseas. Ravens Bengals, possibly the game of the year. Went down to the wire, like we said before. McPherson misses one in OT. Derrick Henry gets him down field goal range. Justin Tucker the win. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow were absolutely electric throwing the football. Jags and Colts, the streak continues, boys. I told you here first. Colts will never win in Jacksonville ever again. All right, Dolphins and Patriots in maybe the ugliest football game I've ever witnessed. Dolphins win 15-10. Buccaneers, not Buccaneers. Browns get smoked by the Commanders. Jaden Daniels stopped doing anything by the end of the third quarter, and they still killed them. Texans and Bills, we'll talk about in a minute. Bears and Panthers. Panthers are the worst team in football still, folks. They are worse than New England. They are worse than the Giants. They are worse than most. Nate, that's not saying much. That's basically saying you're taller than a hobbit from the Shire.
I'll take it.
All right, Raiders and Broncos. I did not see that one coming. Life comes at you fast there in Las Vegas. Cardinals 49ers.
That was a crazy game.
Oh, loved it. When Kazir White picked off Brock Purdy, I was like, yes, the 49ers go down. Packers, Rams, that game got way too close for comfort. Sea Chickens and Giants, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Congrats to Nate's Giants for getting the dub. Sea Chickens are back, folks. And last but not least, we talked about last night's game already. Cowboys and Steelers. Both offenses looked inept. Steelers defense looked great. Except in the last drive, if they dove in that fumble, we're not having this conversation today. We'll go back to the game. Honestly, was one of the best games of the weekend. Texans and Bills. We spoke about it already. Josh Allen struggled a lot. I think, what was his completion percentage? It was below 50. Yeah, 9 of 30. That's 30%.
The one time I bet on the Bills too. I don't know.
James Cook only had about 4 yards of carry, 1 touchdown. Cam Akers looked abysmal. Keon Coleman had that one catch. It was great. Diggs was actually all over the place for him. Nico Collins was great for them before he pulled his hammy. He was running so hard past the defender, he blew his own hammy out. He's day to day. Apparently, it's not too serious. Yeah, but besides that, it was defensive field goals. Arguably, and if you ask my honest gut opinion, this could be possibly the AFC Championship game, depending on how Buffalo addresses their receiving core issues at the deadline. Texans are back. That was my vibe. They made the correct plays when it mattered. I think it was kind of BS when they called intentional grounding on Stroud. I think that's just a bonehead move. He probably just was like, oh, let me throw it out of bounds quick, kill the play. Oh, wait, you're calling that as intentional grounding? Oh, we're screwed. But other than that, Texans were able to hold on and put away the Bills when it mattered most, when the Bills scored 14 unanswered. Any thoughts on this Bills-Texans game, boys?
I will say, because when I went into my six-pack, thinking when Bills got embarrassed versus the Ravens previous week, they weren't going to get, they weren't going to lose twice. They weren't going to get embarrassed twice. Josh Allen looked horrible. This is one of the rare times I'm not a Bills guy. I'm not. I've said this a gazillion times, but this is like one of the rare times I could say that Josh Allen just did not look like the Josh Allen everybody knows. The defense was getting worked a little bit. Not much, though. Stroud had a great game. But I think the problem was just Allen couldn't perform. And it's like that for a quarterback once in a while. You're not going to have a great game every game. You chalked this up in the L column. I expect the Bills to be fine after this. I'm not sure what their schedule looks like, but it's definitely a good win for the Texans, especially the past 2 weeks prior to this. I know Stroud's been struggling a little bit. His numbers have been a little bit down, so I'm glad he's on the come up. Because I do have him in fantasy. I have him in the majority of leagues that I'm in. But I think that's all I got for that.
Their upcoming schedule, Bills-wise, it's on the easier end than it is difficult. But they got the Jets next week. That'll be difficult. That's always a tough game. Then they have the Titans, Seahawks, Miami, Colts, Chiefs, Niners, Rams, Lions, Pats, Jets, Pats. So I could see right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could see like 6 to 7 more wins. I would put them at 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah, I mean that's. I would say that's a. Was that their prediction going into this year? Well, I think it was over 9.5. I think it was.
I think it was. I think a lot of people were pegging them for like 11 wins.
Yeah, it was around 10 or 11 for Buffalo.
Okay, I mean
they might have had a 10.5 line.
Once again, I think everyone's like, "Oh, you have to build the team from the outside." It's like, no, you have to have one elite weapon. You have to have something.
Yeah, the Bills don't have one.
Coleman will be one in about a year or two.
Yeah,
I'm really surprised that they're not using Kincaid. I thought he would be like a monster piece of this offense this year.
They don't use him at all.
He's also getting bracketed like crazy.
Yeah.
Best game of the week was definitely.
Josh Allen prefers like fast guys who could just get open down the field. Like that's why he likes Coleman, because Coleman can turn a touchdown, catching a touchdown on any play. But Kincaid.
No, I was saying easily best game of the week was Bengals Ravens.
Game of the year.
That's a nominee for game of the year. So was Thursday Night Football. But boys, even next week, we'll talk about quickly. I already have our 6-pack 3 picked out, so get yourselves prepped for it. Thursday Night Football preview. Sucks Matt can't be here. 49ers Sea Chickens. Then you have Commanders Ravens, Bucks Saints, and Lions Cowboys. Whoo! That's a good slate. Plus all the October 12th games for college football. So next,
I was so scared I had to go off camera.
Thursday is going to be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Thursday is going to be mayhem.
But I will let you guys know about programming issues, who will be here to fill in for Matt on Thursday as well. And you boys, we have to talk about Monday Night Football preview because obviously the game kicks off in about 2 hours. I believe now.
Then anybody think the Kansas City Chiefs aren't winning this game?
Really?
I'm kind of with you, Jared.
How? Okay, here's the problem. The Chiefs have been struggling to cover teams with multiple weapons. What is the one thing the Saints can do? They can score with 4 or 5 different guys.
Yeah, Jared, I will second you. I will take the Saints.
Here's the problem. The Chiefs are 4-0. That's the first issue, too. Arrowhead, it's not cold yet, so Arrowhead's just a warm Midwestern stadium right now. Also, Shaheed's been really quiet the last 2 weeks. So is Olave. Alvin Kamara's healthy and playing. I'm liking this team right now, guys. I really am. So, yeah, I have the Saints upsetting them tonight. This is like, hey, Jared, teams that annoy you bowl. And I was like, oh, bingo, these teams. But, yeah, right now the line's at -5. I will run to the bank at +5. So
let me cook a little something up. It's not going to be a big odd.
Just you don't have to go crazy with the Swagoo, full Swagoo sandwich. Just give us a couple little sliders.
I mean, I'm taking Chiefs money line. I think the Chiefs are winning. You don't have to obviously take the money line, but I'm one thing I'm definitely doing is I like an Alvin Kamara anytime touchdown. He's been hot this year. He's kind of getting back to his original form from a handful of years ago.
Mm-hmm. Plus 50 yards, easy.
Yeah. His line is 50.5. I think he can get over that too. It's tough to double dip. I kind of want to go. It feels like it's too easy to take over Kelsey 60.5 because who else are they going to throw to? But
I remember Dallas also butchered them when they played 2 weeks ago.
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, that too. They locked them. Oh, Xavier Worthy.
Here's the other kicker. I just saw Rashid Rice is out. Isaiah Pacheco's out.
Yeah.
Holly Brown's done for the season.
I think he's done for the year.
Rice, they don't know, but they might stack his. The rumor is they might try to stack his suspension because the injury is worse than IR. It's like going to be like 8 or 9 week, 10-week injury. And apparently Hollywood Brown's done for the season. His shoulder is beyond repair for at least this year.
So the Chiefs are in a position they were last year. It's just they'll find
But
out.
hey, listen, boys, they have TikTok boy now.
You think Kareem Hunt's catching a decent amount of passes today?
I have Kareem Hunt over 7 touches at least between catching and running. At least he's gonna at least get that.
His 3+ catch line is plus 120.
Oh, I'm running with that because it's either that or they're gonna hand off to Carson Steele. They really don't have much options. Oh, boys, we have a new guest star today on the show. We have Boo Bear.
Hey, Boo Bear.
Cat.
He does not sound happy.
She's a squeaker. She gets a little mad when she gets picked
What's up? What's up, Boo Bear?
We'll say hi to the people at home. Okay. Jesus, relax.
All right.
She's a little grumpy.
He's got a mouth on her.
Yeah, she's That's what you get for climbing on my desk. Do not jump on that. Oh, she's got a problem. She likes to jump on everything. Anyway, yeah. So 2 picks I like. Obviously, I like Kareem's over for catches and rushing attempts, and I love the over for Rashid Shaheed's receiving yards. And I of course took the Saints money line because why not, folks? My Fanatics account finally got unlocked.
There we go. And I just did the bet on Fanatics.
It took 5 freaking minutes for the last guy, the 5th guy. He's like, hey, Jared, let's try using a new email. I'm like, the thing I've been asking for a week, and everyone keeps telling me, no, we'll go to this email instead. We'll go back to your old email. And it's like, fellas, it's not working.
My official same game parlay for night football: Chiefs money line, Alvin Kamara anytime touchdown, Rashid Shaheed over 50.5 receiving, Xavier Worthy over 40.5 receiving, and then Kareem Hunt 3+ receptions.
I love it. Swag
And,
certified.
I had a 30% profit boost, so it is usually plus 1900s, but now it's plus 2470. So $10 gets you 257.
I'm probably just gonna throw the 3 down on those 3 little EVT ones I put down, but still, last time I did 3 individual bets on a primetime game was when we had our boy Nasty on, and I hit all 3 of them. So that being said, boys, good luck to your team. Maddie, good luck to your team tonight, I believe. And
Yes, sir. 738.
Good luck to your boys tomorrow, and Chris, for
Thank
the
you, buddy.
personal life thing you just received today. Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
See you soon, Chris.
See you soon, buddy.
See you
All right,
soon,
boys.
baby.
This has been the Korner Podcast. Shout out to Nate for being the producer in the background, piping in for a few. Why are you bragging about a controller right now?
It's Giants theme. I spent $150 on this thing.
I'm done. I'm out. Bye.
What?
It's pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks.
It is.
They have all
It is
kinds of
pretty fire.
colors.
I'm not a Giants fan, Jared. That is
Why
pretty
would
fire.
you spend that much on a controller?
Because
he
it
plays
smells
video
good. And it
I do
looks
too.
cool.
I have a $30 controller from Power A. It's a plug into my Xbox X.
It
'Cause
feels
you're
nice.
right.
Controllers are expensive.
You can see
man.
your reflection in it.
Yeah, look at that.
See?
Kind of like Iron
We'll have
Man.
a whole different conversation.
It does look like Iron Man,
$50 on its head. All right, boys. Shout out to our sponsors, SeatGeek, Candidates, and Righteous Felon. Chris, congratulations! Another episode without getting sent to the penalty box.
I'm gonna be a good boy from now often.
We need Chris to be. We need R-rated Chris. That's how we get ratings. R stands for ratings, Chris.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very entertaining and sleep-deprived episode of the Corner Booth Podcast, episode 301. We will see you guys Thursday for the Corner Booth pregame, and just be on the lookout for more content coming forward. We got a few things in the works, so have a good weekend. Peace.